Well, is genetic engineering a real thing? I mean, it is certainly a thing, but it's an overhyped thing. Genetic engineering is often at the center of these stories of we can feed the world with technology, but they said that 30 years ago, and they are genetically engineering successfully some foods, but almost all of it is engineering for crops to resist pesticides. So they're changing a gene in the plant so that it can be sprayed with Roundup and not die. If you spray Roundup on a green field of weeds and crops, everything green will die except for the plants that were genetically engineered to resist it. So that's, and thank you for bringing that up, because it is an important piece, because it's a way, it's a pillar of this system. It's not the whole problem by any means. But, well, there's all kinds of genetic engineering experimentation going on right now. So the place, a lot of it is, it's funny, Margaret Atwood wrote a book series about a genetically engineered future gone wrong with people and plants and pigs that had emotions of humans. But she says, everything I write about in my books is happening. It is in the research pipeline. I'll just say quickly, genetic engineering is changing fast. It used to be this, you take a gene from one plant, insert it physically into another plant, it has a trait. As I said, really almost the only thing it worked for. There were a few other traits of disease resistance, like papayas in Hawaii, for example. But most of it has been this Roundup Ready, engineered to resist chemicals or producing chemicals within a plant. Very good for the profits of the chemical companies, not so good for farmers or the earth, because what's happened is resistance has developed. The pests get around it, they evolve ways. So we've seen insect resistant and weed resistance to get around the chemicals, and they say, well, we're just going to genetically engineer a new trait. We're going to triple stack it. We're going to make this plant resistant to not just glyphosate, but dicamba and 2,4-D and some of the older, more toxic pesticides. So it's an addictive system. It's a system where farmers and crops grown in these huge monocultures where the soil is depleted need chemicals to grow. The chemicals further deplete the soils, and the bugs and weeds resist, and so you need more and more and more chemicals. And that's how genetic engineering has been used. So who wins in an addiction scenario? Not the addict, not the person taking the drugs, using the chemicals, not consumers. The only one that wins in an addiction scenario is the drug pusher. So this system is great for Monsanto and Bayer, and we've seen them consolidate to where now we have 3 companies, 3 mega merged conglomerates. So that's Dow DuPont, Monsanto Bayer, and Syngenta Chem China own more than 60% of the pesticides and the seeds because they've been buying up seed companies. And they're very committed to this path of genetically engineered seeds, to go with pesticides, to go with chemicals again, and more and more. That's the more that works for corporate profits. Now, I said genetic engineering was changing, and this has happened in just the past few years. So the new techniques allow people to, by people I mean like people in their garages are now experimenting with this sort of thing called gene editing, which I think is a brilliant propaganda term in of itself. But they can change the DNA by cutting it or basically changing it in computers to create certain characteristics of a plant. So there's lots of experimentation going on about that, lots of different types in the pipeline, but a lot of it, again, still has to do with insect resistance, weed resistance, chemicals, and as I said earlier, genetically engineering animals to fit better in confined conditions. So I write about that a lot at US Right to Know, and it is the subject of a huge and massive PR effort to convince everybody that we need this, and the venture capitalists love it. And the natural products industry is so far really trying to hold strong against it and keep it out.